Alright, now for the VOD. Hello, hi, I am Bajongles. I stream over here on Twitch on Tuesdays, Fridays, and Sundays at noon Pacific Standard Time. If you like me, please check me out. I also have socials on Tumblr and Bluesky. Oh, hi, regular gremlin. I'm doing a funny a funny read because I figure I should as a professional streamer, and then I did it, and then I messed it up because I forgot to record. Do the bit. Yes. Hi, I'm Bajongles. I stream over here on Twitch on Tuesdays, Fridays, and Sundays at noon Pacific Standard Time. That's 8 p.m. UTC, I believe, for European enjoyers. I also have a Blue Sky and a Tumblr. They are at Big Boy Art 1. BBA are capitalized. You will know me by the profile picture. And the username should be Bajongles. I am happy you are here. Now that is out of the way, and I've thoroughly done the ad read of myself. I'm going to open up my drawing program of choice now. I need to move that because I learned if I minimize my PNG tuber, it stops showing up on stream, which is very cool and awesome. So I did wrong one. I should really have stuff not next to each other that I use like consistently because sometimes I'll misclick one and then accidentally open up. Oh, don't mind that. Accidentally open up a second PNG tuber. Come on, Krita, open. There we go. I would like to discard that. Uh, but first, before I do, I will switch over to art time for art. I was working on this last night. This is a bit of concept art for the thing I'm working on. Uh, because I'm doing game concept art for a game I want to make. And this is one of the dudes that I'm much happier with this versus what I posted. Like from what I drew on stream. Because I think I want to replace like the funny tree elf people with just bird. Bird. You get to play as funny bird with 4 eyes and 2 tongues. I think that's very cool. Technically they're not birds. Technically they're related to dragons. You know, 6 limbs, wings, the whole shebang. I saw an art piece that a paleo artist I really like. Ah, yes, very. What that mouth do? I will not answer. But yeah, no, they're technically related to dragons. They're very cool. I like them a lot. And now I am going to open new for Mr. Figarland Shanks because I decided to do that series of drawing every single named One Piece character. Ah, yes, exactly. The avian dragons versus non-avian dragons, plus another fly group of dragons that do the whole thing but different. Yes, as opposed to dinosaurs who are as every single evangelical will tell you are not real and are just part of the liberal agenda. Let me get some reference real quick for the man, the myth, the legend, Figarland Shanks. I love that I look up One Piece Shanks and the first thing is Shanks X Buggy. Uh, Dino Nuggies. Um, you see those are just that's just Big Nugget telling you lies. Oh. Can I just say Shanks 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. Oh, sick. What kind? Also, by the way, how do you like my overlay? It's a bit work in progress, but I like the avian kind, of course. See, I have so many folders that I need to go through. I need to be better organized. There we go. There's a picture, and then I just need to. The thing is, I need to parse through official art versus fan art because I want to make it as accurate as possible, and sometimes uh other people that do fan art take a lot of liberties. I mean, for good reason. Art style is fun and such. Let's see, print screen. I'm really tired of Google. They updated recently, and I can't just copy paste an image anymore. Ah, yeah, 3 to 4 limbs. Yeah, I mean, he makes up for it. He feels like the kind of how do I put this? He seems like the kind of guy to wear socks and sandals every single day of his life. Like he just seems like a socks and sandals kind of guy. I'm surprised that in this he has no socks. Yeah, there we go. There he is, Shanky boy. He's gonna stab you with his sword. Actually, I don't think he's ever stabbed anybody in One Piece. Like he's Slash Kid, right? Like there's that. But I don't think he's ever stabbed anybody. Hold on, I actually need to do a better thing real quick. Fun fact about art, it's always better to draw with a mid-tone canvas because white hurts. Oh yeah, fair enough. Oh yeah, did you read the most recent chapter? It's so absurd. Yeah, exactly. I'm slowly doing more and more of a red tone with my like mid-tone um my mid-tone canvases because I won't spoil it then. It's very fun and a lot of lore stuff happens. Won't say much more than that. Okay. How shape is his face? His face is very shaped. Very good, very nice. Okay. You love to be spoiled. Okay, so Loki, the guy tied to the big tree, gets confronted by the funny God's Knights, and one of them is just Shanks. Like it just looks like Shanks, but with an arm and without the scars and with like pretty braids in his hair. Which is really interesting. It's sort of confirming absolutely that Shanks is like or was a celestial dragon, right? It's very interesting. Uh, but they're trying to get information out of Loki, and it's just kind of not working. Ah, yes, AO3, my favorite website. Alright. That chin's too long. Let me fix that. Something that's interesting also is that Loki is friends with the funny wolf. I forget his name in the manga. I'll need to reread the chapter. But like, he's friends with One Piece Fenrir. Which is kind of interesting because it's kind of different. It's kind of different, and I kind of dig it. I'm wondering when the big snake comes into play, if it hasn't already. What if the big snake is actually the one from Skypiea? I don't know. That's just sort of a theory I had. No, no funny bird person. Not. It's not your time. Your time is Sunday. Like that's sort of a theory I have is that 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 like because sort of the end times are called Ragnarok in One Piece, at least by the Giants. That like we've probably already seen the components of it, and it's just all coming together now. Ah, of course, mo most sane One Piece theory. That- that's sort of my thoughts on the Crocomom thing. Funnily enough, is like that is like I don't know, Crocodile being Luffy's mom. Probably not. Him being a trans man, most likely. Also, why wouldn't Ivankov turn Figarland Garling? Uh, in like why Roger? Let's see. Is that the right proportions? No, this man has a six head. Yeah, no, there's just sort of a lot of character reveals happening in the recent chapter of like, all right, there's this person that has a funny power. Uh, her name's not revealed. Neither of their names are revealed, I don't think. But there's this one lady where like she's sort of you see arrows in the air of where she's going to hit you, and like so you know how she's gonna hit you. Oh yeah, fair enough. I mean, now look at the guard in look at the guard. Also, I love that that guard was just like, huh, I guess I'm happy being a woman, and I hope she's happy with her life now. You know, I, yeah, I mean, probably. I've been seeing a lot of theories of that Jormungandr, hope I'm pronouncing that right, by the way, I'm very bad with pronunciation, is the red line. Like, that would make sense, right? Like, that would make sense. Who would who would Hela be then? Is Hela a thing? I think Hela's a thing. Yeah. Yeah, no, My knowledge is being injected back into my brain. Sometimes I have to find it again. I wonder when I wonder if she's gonna come into play. Ah, glad to hear it. I first heard the pronunciation from a Danish man, so I don't know how that translates to like anywhere else, because that language went through its own whole like linguistic journey. It's a lot like English in that way of how different it is from like every other Germanic language. Ah, thank you for reminding me. And then there's who's the I'm trying to make parallels of like the myth of Ragnarok, like with with like One Piece, because there are obvious parallel. Again, bird moment. I'm trying to sort of make parallels in my mind, right? Because obviously the Atom tree is reminiscent of like Yggdrasil, right? Ah, yes, of course, the potato in your throat. I too love deep throating potato. It's my favorite. I I really hope I don't sound too antagonistic to Denmark because of the current stuff that's happening with Greenland. I do not support that happening. Greenland should continue to be Danish, I think. Like you know, like that whole situation's scary to me. I did not vote for this man. I did not want this to happen. Oh, his nose is different. Unlike Roger, this man has no nostrils. Ah, boy. Oh, he has the same eye shape as Roger. That's interesting. That's something I never really noticed. Him and Roger have the same eyes. Oh. Yeah, exactly. More evidence. More evidence that Shanks is the love child of Roger and Figarland Garling. Also, can I just say him becoming the new like Elder Star, so interesting. I don't know how that's gonna work out. Right, like him just barging into the desert being like, I am the new science I am now Bill Nye. I am now Bill Nye the Science Guy. And then just sort of walks in with a fresh suit. I wonder if this was fan colored. This looks fan colored, doesn't it? Like when Oda does coloring, it doesn't look like this. Whiskey and Rye the Science Guy, I see. Something I don't get about, I guess it's because we don't really see a lot of Shanks, right? He's sort of like a Darth Vader in the specific way of like he has so little like time in the actual media but has such a big impact. Stuff doesn't add up about him necessarily. Like there are different times where he has completely different vibes as a person. And I I'm kind of having a hard time being like, okay, is he like super happy and jovial, or is he like going to kill me but like in a hot way? I don't get it. Like, is it just the difference between him drunk and sober? I don't I don't quite understand. I don't understand him yet. Also, it's kind of something that's interesting is, Shanks has had ties with Elbaf since like the very beginning, with like down to his ship design, and yet he's not at Elbaf, and then like I don't know, his brother is maybe his brother. I think his brother because he looks exactly alike, and I'm not sure what the deal with that is because it feels like he should be here, but he's not. Like he was here before Luffy got here, but it feels like there should be more of him. You know what I mean? The scar's too long here. Like it felt like he would show up and we would finally have the reunion of him and Luffy at Elbaf. And it hasn't happened. It's gonna come later. Like I'd say Luffy has made it to being a great pirate. I mean, something's wrong with your pen display. What's happening? Okay. No, I'm doing the white guy thing of having his pupils a little too far in. That's not how they are. Ah. You see, I don't have that issue because I only have one display. You see, I'm epic and cool and use a non-screen tablet. So I sort of like only have my one screen here. The Something's wrong. Something's wrong about this face. I can't place it, but something's wrong. So I'm gonna redo the pupils and the irises. Speaking of issues, last night my old mouse stopped working, so I had to get a new one. The scrolling is a bit different. My old mouse had just a free scroll wheel. You could scroll like the most minute details. No, bird, be gone with you. There we go. Now I won't have that mistake again. And this one has a segmented scroll, so I can feel the clicking. Um, it's 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 just another it's just another wireless mouse. It's from a brand called like Logi or something. And it's a good mouse, right? It's definitely I don't need it for like high-speed competitive gaming. I just needed a mouse, so it's good. Um, no, Logitech's logo is different. Uh, but yeah, no, my old mouse, I had been using it for like 12 years. So like I've gotten to know exactly how that mouse feels, and having anything different like feels wrong, even though this is a good mouse. Right, this mouse is fine, it is serviceable. It's just I can tell the slight size difference. I can tell like the how it feels like on my mouse pad is different. The clicks sound different. The scrolling is slightly different. Sort of like if I switched to a new drawing program. No, I would not like to have my brush be overlay. Thank you. Yeah. Yep. Honestly, oh, hold on. Your message just came in. I feel after I got MMO Mass one with a nut. Oh, right. Some of those mice have numpads. Oh, I I don't have a need for one of those, but that would be very fun. Yeah, another thing this mouse doesn't have is like the very basic thing of clicking the scroll wheel left and right to like swap between tabs. Like that's something this mouse just doesn't have. Speaking of numpad, I used to use a computer without like it was basically Chromebook size. It didn't have a numpad on the right, and I tell you that num just adding that extra numpad, so good, so good. It's increased my ability to do things by a lot, which is interesting because I it's on the right side and I'm left-handed, so you'd think that it wouldn't do much. Ah. Something's wrong with Shanks, so I'm just uh gonna do this. He doesn't look right. I was able to get Roger really quickly. All right. All right, I think I understand now. Yeah, it's probably the nose. I just need to figure out how to do the nose better. I'll look for better nose reference for him. There we go. And we have nose. I see. You can really sniff them out. Also, the head shape I did was wrong. I did a Roger shape. When this should be a Shanks head. The music that I'm playing right now for the Outer Wild soundtrack reminds me I really want to play that on stream, but I don't have it right now. Yes, too tall and not round enough. You know what? That's the story of my life. That's how I am. Is too tall, not round enough. Let's see. There we are. Wrong direction. His hair's gonna be interesting because I don't draw hair like this. The classic One Piece head shape, kinda squatting around with big forehead. Sorry, I just have to look at him for a moment. Okay, his eyes are interesting. He has eyeliner. Two-eyed. You see, the answer is because it wants to. You see, every piece of software has a mind of its own, and sometimes it just decides to take a long time. A real machine spirit type situation. That nose is already so much better. I have heard wonderful things about Clip Studio, but I like Krita. It allows me to animate if I want to, which I don't do often. I haven't animated in like a year or two, so I'm very rusty. But like it allows me to do so, and that's very cool. Eyebrows are wrong. I did the right thing with the nose, though. I hate that I had to undo that. How Oda does noses is very interesting. Like, especially recently, because you can, you can tell that this is much more recent Oda work. Because a lot of his, like, for faces on people like Shanks, a lot of his more, um, his personal style rather than his One Piece style is sort of shining through a little more, so you can see, uh, actual facial anatomy rather than a more cartoony look. This is how a real person is shaped in the face. He always has his eyebrows have upstrokes like this, I've noticed. Also, he draws eyebrows very thin, and sometimes you don't realize they're eyebrows. Like, this just looks like no eyebrow. But no, this is hair on his brow right here. That's what this is. It's just the thing Oda does. And I think it's neat. Also, I don't know if it was this chapter, or last chapter, in One Piece, but we may have found another ancient giant. You know, the kind with the horns. Except he ripped off his horns. So like he had them and then he ripped them off. But we found another one. Ors, there's Ors, Junior, Ors the Third. Technically, the ogres like Kaido, and now there's this guy. So I wonder what the deal with them is, because like they seem like they're gonna be important. Oh yeah, definitely. I was debating on whether or not I wanted to do like the designs of the characters as they're introduced or as my favorite version of them, and I decided my favorite version of them because like otherwise Roger would have been scraggly and Shanks would have been rubber hose. Okay, I'm understanding his eyes now. No, I don't want that. I want this tool, thank you. What's interesting is with Shanks's old design, uh they're the creators of the Devil Fruits, that's the name. Exactly. Listen, this is good practice. Right. I use the symmetry tool for a lot of straight on faces, but this is practice to get symmetry. Okay. Okay, that's how his lips work. Funnily enough, with Roger last week, the hardest thing to do was draw Roger's mouth. Which is kind of interesting because Roger smiles this like in a very similar way to Luffy. So like Shanks has Roger's eyes, but Luffy has his smile. Which I wonder if that means something thematically. I don't know. I wonder if the two people that are more following in. Oh yeah, yes, absolutely. And also I'm talking about like the corners of the mouth. Also. But like what's interesting is I fully believe the three characters in the story that are following Roger the closest are Shanks, Luffy obviously, and Buggy. I think Buggy is definitely like following in Roger's footsteps pretty closely, but in more of how he perceived Roger rather than how Roger actually is, which is why he's so focused on like the fame and the wealth and the fame is because that's what he saw Roger as was like he was the pirate king, he was the wealth, fame, power, and like he wants still to be like Roger, who was like his father figure. And I don't think Shanks feels the same way, but I definitely think he is still like following in his footsteps. Yeah, of course. Yeah, and like obviously Luffy feels more like he's inheriting Roger's will, sort of in the funny inherited will way, and Shanks, weirdly enough, Shanks feels the most like. Okay, I'm formulating it in my brain. I'm formulating this theory in my brain. That Luffy, Buggy, and Shanks are the different aspects of the funny wealth, fame, power. So like Buggy is wealth. Luffy has gotten a lot of fame recently. He's a very famous criminal guy. Right now, all the eyes are on him. And Shanks is the power, which is, I think, why against Kid you know, he used Roger's move. He used Roger's name to attack against Kid. Is that face right? No, the jaw is still slightly wrong, but it's getting closer. So really, I think all three of them definitely have what. Uh, yes, absolutely. It's wealth, fame, power, the will, the reputation, and the ability. Like Shanks doesn't have the reputation, but Buggy does. Luffy has the actual will, whereas Shanks sort of gave up the dream for a while. And Luffy's not quite there yet when it comes to power. Like, he's really strong, right? He's insanely strong, but he's not quite there yet. And because of the themes of One Piece, I definitely think Luffy is going to be, he is going to be the king of the pirates, most definitely. Right, but like I think it'll take him gaining all three things before he's able to. But we're seeing these two other people that have the other aspects to show us what it looks like. Yeah, exactly. Also, it just so happens that Buggy the Clown is my favorite character. I know, who could have guessed? Haha, funny clown man likes the clown man. But like, legitimately, Buggy is like one of my two favorite characters in all of One Piece. It's him and it's him and Usopp are like my two favorite characters. Oh, oh, there's that parallel between the two that I just now, or not just now, but I just now remembered. Is that like they're both people that play themselves up a bit bigger than they are, but it's also sort of a mask to hide like how capable they really are as people. Because like Buggy and Usopp are super capable. It's just that they hype themselves up to an impossible degree. Yeah, exactly. Go to Usopp. Yeah, exactly. What are your thoughts on the theory that Buggy is the biological child of Roxy Zebek? I don't know how to feel about that, even if it would be interesting. It's like I'm not sure that adds up to me, even if it would kind of make sense story-wise. You know what I mean? Okay, here's Shanks. Here he is. This is what Shanks looks like. Oda loves to draw his ears down low. Have you noticed that? Like about his art style, he really likes to draw the ears lower, which accentuates the forehead even more than like it is actually large. Yeah, it would be absolutely ridiculous. It's not like there's a prevalent theory that like Rox actually won his crew in a bunch of Davy back fights. That would be crazy if that were true. Real if true. You know, real if true. Also, what's the deal with Shanks having actual irises? Right? Because that's very rare in One Piece. There's Mihawk, there's Emu, there's a couple of other people, and then there's Shanks. And then other right, like it's usually like the eyes to simplify are usually like that. But like Shanks has been drawn consistently with actual irises. Oh God, Crocker! Oh, funny character mid design. Oh yeah, fair enough. Also, what's the deal with me? Speaking of legendary swordsman, what's the deal with Mihawk being like, it wouldn't be fair, you have only one arm. I will not fight you. And then, like, Shanks objectively became an Emperor of the Sea after he lost his arm? So it's not like he got weaker with one arm. Right? Like, is that just ableism on his part? Or is he just, like, wrong? Or is he saying it for a different reason that he's, like, not telling, like that Oda's not telling us, like, ooh, this will be important. They're actually in love and kissing. Ooh. which I would 100% believe that Shanks and Mihawk have made out at least once. That feel like that. I don't know, something about those two specifically. Also, with the Buggy X Shanks thing that's happening, I kind of don't see it because they like not blood related, but they're basically siblings, right? Like they grew up together. So I don't know if that works for me. Okay, the hair's slightly wrong and I can't figure out why. There we go. Oh yeah, fair enough. I mean it is half of your fighting ability does kind of go when you literally lose half of what you fight with. Okay, how do I do the hair? Why'd the anime make him look soggy? Why'd they do that to him? Okay. Yes. Me. Yes. Oh, Griffin is sort. The length of Griffith or Griffin? Because you said Griffith. Now I'm imagining a really long Griffith. Oh, I never noticed how big that is. Oh, yeah, no, that's a really long. That's definitely a two-handed sword. A similar handle to Roger. I mean, maybe, but there is something to be said about you know, with enough hockey, your physical strength doesn't really matter all that much. No, no, you are mistaken. It's the same kind of sword, but it's different because Roger named Ace after his sword. So Roger's sword was Ace, this is Griffin. They're two different swords. It's just that they look similar. The actual handle is different. Roger's handle, and I realized this when drawing it, as a traditional like katana type handle where it has like it has fabric in that sort of diamond pattern, whereas this has ridges like this. Okay, how am I gonna do his hair? Does it matter? It matters a lot. What is that hairline? You know what? You know what? Symmetry tool. There we go. Ah, yes, you could say his hairline is godly. How far down are his burns? Oh, not too low. I just imagine his hairline is complete like that. It would be really fun. It would be really funny if Shanks got old and got that crescent moon hair. I kind of want to see Shanks with that crescent hair. Yeah, there we go. Fun fact, I struggle with hair that's slightly weird. And by weird, I mean, what the frick is his hair doing? Oh, yeah, absolutely. Also, I didn't theorize this, but, you know, honestly, to the people that theorized that Bonnie would be joining the Straw Hat crew, gold star. You get the funny gold star. You win. You've won at One Piece. Congratulations. His hair is surprisingly well done for how I don't know. Again, Shanks feels weird to me as a character, and he needs to he needs to bridge those two sides of him together. Like the Shanks that we see like partying on the island, uh, when seeing like Luffy's first bounty, and the Shanks that we see now feel like completely different characters, and I don't know why. I can't put my finger on it. Okay, that's what the back of his head is doing. Also, do we know for what purpose, speaking of Bonnie, do we know for what purpose exactly, Saint Garcia Saturn was doing all those experiments on Bonnie? Was he just cruel with his half predator? Oh yeah, no, you're right. I mean, what? Interestingly, uh, speaking of tragic death, when Ace died, it Luffy's character arc is very interesting because people are like, "Oh, he's a stagnant character. He has no arc. He's boring." Expect him to completely shift as a person rather than going through an arc. Back of the hair's bad. There we go. Because like Luffy is still Luffy. It's just that because we see his change throughout such a long time. And people forget it's been like 20, like almost 30 years. I think it'll be 30 in 2 years. I think. Like, Luffy has changed very slowly over that time from our perspective. That people kind of forget that Luffy is changed from East Blue versus um Grand Line or what's the second New World. I forgot that the Grand Line was split between Paradise and New World for a moment. Like he has changed a lot. Okay, now I have to do his bangs. The back of his hair is fine now-ish. Now I have to figure out how to do this well. Also, do do we know if it was actually Shanks that met up with the Celestial Dragons, or was that just like we saw somebody that looked like Shanks, and at the time, like that's the only person we knew? I forget. It's been a while since I read that chapter. Like I remember that chapter sparked the whole "is Shanks evil?" Like conspiracy theory, not conspiracy theories. Oh, interesting. I'll have to check that out. To confirm that because it's been a while. Even though like that chapter is super super important for, I mean, a lot of stuff. This hair's wrong. Why do I keep drawing the hair wrong? What am I doing wrong with the hair? If that Shanks had no scar. Oh, I love that we're getting so much mileage on Shanks's scar. Like showing like, oh, that looks like Shanks, but there's no scar there, so it's not him. Like it's sort of the scars become such an important signifier of like his identity. And like no wonder it's on his flag, right? It's on his Jolly Roger. Also, can I just say calling the King of the Pirates Roger and having a pirate flag be a Jolly Roger was a very fun move. I appreciate Oda for doing that. I appreciate him for a lot of things, but I really appreciate him for doing that. Shanks is built like a rectangle. I'll come back to his hair later once I have to. There we go. I remember, and I'm sure you remember too, at the time that chapter was new. Oh, everybody was doing a "is Shanks evil" conspiracy theory. Oh, let me look that up real quick. Oh, oh, Yeah, it's showing the side that doesn't have a scar. So we don't know. Oh, it's probably not him because of the hood. Um, if you've read the most recent chapters, the person that looks like Shanks is wearing a black hood like the guy that talked to the Gorosei. It's not him. It was never him the whole time. Now all the people being like Shanks was talking to the Gorosei to warn them about Blackbeard. It could completely be wrong. It could be this other God Knight. Ah, yeah, no, sorry. I'm connecting things in my brain because I am. Sometimes it takes me a bit to connect things. But no, it was probably him. How long is it, man? Also, it's impossible for that to be Shanks's twin because Sh or not twin, non-twin sibling. In any way, because obviously, Shanks is the love child between Garling and Roger. Like, we all know this. And neck needs to be shorter. There we go. I wonder how many people have, or like not people, the theory YouTubers have been like, oh, see this guy who was talking to the Gorosei, it's actually this guy. I wonder how many people have done that already. Because like, I don't feel like that's a unique observation with this most recent chat, like these most recent chapters. I need to stop trying the hair until I'm good. Actually, I could just do him frowning and have him be doing this pose. Yeah, I could. I could definitely do that, but I like his smile. He has a very cute smile. I like him. He's very nice. Now, what are his proportions? Shanks is long. They decided to make him the long way. Okay. And you kind of do that, and then shoulder a bit higher because it's going to be holding onto the sword. Actually, no, nope, Nope. Redoing the body. One thing I really like about the final saga that's happening right now, like, you know, since Egghead, is that, everything feels like it's going faster. It feels like there's an actual sense of urgency, whereas everything else sort of felt like Oda took the much needed time to tell the stories that he wanted to tell. Like with this, it feels it feels like the conclusion. And he might actually be meaning it when he says that, you know, it's gonna take 5 years. As opposed to all the other times he's said that it's gonna take the 5 years. Hmm. I like the neck body. Oh yeah, let me look at the comparison real quick. Hold on. Let me open image in new tab. I said open image in new tab, not open Reddit. Oh, that's really low res. Oh, I can't show that. Uh, I saw an even more recent Shanks, like, profile, and it shows the scar, like, his scar showing up on, like, the far side of his forehead. And it matches up a lot closer to the actual, like, the actual, guy talking to the Gorosei, but still, like, the scar is not there. Quite interesting. Actually, I have a better idea for a pause. I'm quiet, I'm looking at a thing. There we go, found it. I found this image. It's a lot more recent, and it follows the actual head shape closer. But as you can see, same angle. You can see the scar right here. I don't mean to sound lectury. I know you know what I'm talking about. Oh, send me a link on Blue Sky. Thanks. Let's see. Is it in? Let's see. I'm looking at it now. Okay. Thank you for finding the page, by the way. Let me. For anybody else viewing. Yeah, these are different people. I'm gonna ban this person. Real quick. That's I've been getting weird bots, recently. There we go. I'm going to close that tab, and then I'm going to. Oh, that's a bot. Damn. I am going to. And then you look at this. I didn't realize Shanks looks kind of weird in this panel. I think this is the first time he drew Shanks at this angle. Man, on here on this one here, there's the scar there, and here obviously there's the scar here, but there is none here. That's something I love so much about Oda, like his art is just how much attention to detail he has. He will wish for landscape photos and a portrait. So, ah, yeah. And then there was another one of like Takashi 69 with like the shank scars in that chat. Do I need to redo the face? I think I need to either decide a pose that works or change the face to a new pose to fit the new pose I want. But I really like this face. I did a good job on him. Okay, okay. I think I've decided. I am a decider. That's what I do. That's what happens. See, and then wham. Sometimes in One Piece you have to wonder why someone is built like that, and it's not even the most crazy designs piece. That's just One Piece. Like you see you see someone shaped like Blackbeard, and you go, okay, no, that's fine. That's One Piece. Uh, but for some reason, when I see somebody that's built just like a rectangle, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Uh, yeah. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do an A pose because I'm tired of trying to figure out a pose for him. I did that sitting pose for Roger because, there's that scene of there's that anime scene that's really good where Kid Luffy runs up in front of Roger, and that's like my favorite scene in the entire anime. Okay, how are his proportions? His proportions are yes. All right. I'm really excited to see more from Buggy because he's going after the One Piece now. Ah, yes, exactly. Those are some of my favorite theories of uh like talking about, and when I say favorite I mean like that in sort of a sarcastic way. I don't take them seriously, but they're funny. The people being like, uh is is Blackbeard a buccaneer? Like those kinds of things. Or like is Luffy part Lunarian? Is one I saw, and that, those are fun. Those are funny. Let's see. I'm not getting a good reference of his arm, so I'm gonna get something that has a better look. All right, I understand it now. So first, I'm going to do that. Cut this one off here for obvious Luffy-related reasons. Honestly, that that makes just as much sense as anything else that people have theorized. Like people saying like the One Piece is actually a bottle of sake. Uh, because of Binks's brew, or like the One Piece turns out to be the last piece of ancient history knowledge, or like the One Piece is the friends we made along the way. That's a particular favorite of mine. Uh, because it's funny. Uh, there, there was that Afro theory that like the One Piece was an Afro. There's one that I completely disagree with, which is the One Piece is an ancient weapon. That's not what I wanted. There's even a theory that the One Piece is nothing. Honestly, I kind of don't care what the One Piece is, because like no matter how good it is, no matter how well it fits into the whole thing, it will never match up to like the sheer amazing journey that we've been on for this entire time. Oh yeah, there's even a theory that of course, yes. It's the best theory. Uh what was I gonna say? There's another theory about the One Piece. Oh yeah, there's a theory, and this is one that one of my friends joked about once. Which is that the One Piece is literally like a future prophecy that's literally just One Piece the manga, which was pretty funny. Wait, side note, on Sunday, what do you think I should do? Obviously, I mean, there is a reason Roger calls the island Laugh Tale. Exactly. I don't think there's a single piece of media that has made me laugh more than One Piece. Since I got into it in about 2018. You know what I was saying? Oh yeah, sidetrack. What like what do you think we should do on Sunday? Because obviously there's the game concept art, but I am doing that on my own. That doesn't have to be an every week thing. I have a lot of games that I could play. I realized I do have Fallout 1. So I have all of the mainline Fallouts. 1, 2, 3, New Vegas, 4 and 76. I have all of them. So like I could play any one of those. I could play Ori and the Blind Forest, Castle Crashers and Battle Block Theater. I have a lot of games I could play. Um, Oh, I could play Gartic Phone. No, oh, you're right. That would be super fun. That forearm's bad. There's also that one. Wow, what's it called? It's that game where you merge a bunch of names and you can create anything out of it. Uh, it's one that people have been streaming recently. Oh, there's also Voices of the Void I could play. Apparently that's free. So I could just get it. Yeah, no, Gartic Phone sounds fun. Gartic Fun, very cool. So yeah, I think that's the plan. I need to do the fingers better. One game I've decided to never play on stream is specifically Helldivers 2, because when I play it with my friends, I can get so mad at that game. That's not exactly the right kind of vibe that I want for anything. I don't want to play stuff that makes me mad. Like, I like getting mad sometimes. Getting mad can be fun. But that's not the kind of vibe I want to bring to streaming. There we go. Ear accomplished. Ear obtained. Oh yeah, I got my controller working again. Or I got a new controller because my old one broke. Oh, one of my favorite streamers streams Voices of the Void sometimes with Oh, yeah, that's something I want to do. Uh is have a text to speech pet. I've heard great things about Voices of the Void because it's a source game. It uses a bunch of the funny Half-Life. Oh, that's another thing I could play Half-Life. I have every single non-Alex Half-Life. That's a bad pelvis. We all know that Shanks has a rockin' pelvis. I've heard great things about Voices of the Void. I I don't watch Weast's streams, but I like Weast on YouTube, and I saw a thing of Voices of the Void from him, and it looks really cool. There's also like the Zach Hazard video, or like technically the Mike Burnfire video, but it's Zach playing Voices of the Void. It looks so good. I want to play that eventually. How am I gonna do the legs? Well, the legs are prominent and in view, and they are. Uh, yeah, they're very cool. They are part of the reason, not the entire reason I've never wanted to, but they've given me words to describe why I never want to ever go into any kind of military thing. Because like they talk about their military experience and it does not sound good. The military, the US military at least, just sounds like a cult, you know? It's a very not exciting prospect. I think I did the legs in the wrong place. Tiny leg, no. Longer. Um, okay, so how you want to draw Mario's cap is so let's say that this is the brim, right? So which angle? Because there's the brim, and then you can do it like, well, no, it's not like that. I remember how Mario's cap is shaped. It's visualized in my brain. I did it for the funny when I drew. Hold on, where is it? Where is it? When I drew this uh the other day, so I know how to draw it. I know how Mario's cap is done. Let's see here. So there's this bit, and then there's the extra little bit on the back there, and then you have the bill here. Then you do that, and then you put the M. Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Send me your whip. Let me know when it is sent. I meant to have the mirror tool on. Turns out when you're drawing two legs and they're exactly the same but mirrored, you need the mirror tool, or to get good. Why did it zoom in like that? That's weird. Now that part of the leg is too short. There we go. Now that's bad. Actually, no, the shins are just too short. That's the problem. Messing up on this. Ah, okay. I might need to reload, yeah, I might need to reload Tumblr real quick. Give me a moment. There it is. I think. Okay, I can see a message you sent. There, is it an inbox? No. Alright, I just now got a reblog that you did. There we go. There we go, I could see it. Okay. Is the dude on the far left the Mario? And open image in new tab so that I can zoom in even further. Alright. I hope it's alright if I give a bit of a detour and sort of work this out in my brain. So here's your little dude. Shift be, and begin. So with Mario, the bill is pretty good. This is at a slight angle. So you're gonna want to have a bit of that, and then it swoops down there, showing a bit of that. Then there we go. And if it's directly in front, then it kind of it kind of has sort of a pentagonal shape, sort of like that. You see, it's Mario time. I hope that helps the dilemma. Basically you want sort of this pentagonal looking bit, then you want this little swooping part because on the side view it goes like this. Yes. Yes, I did it right. I was questioning myself for a moment. Hope that helps. It's coming along real nicely, I think. He does not need a thigh gap like that. closer. Hold on. I guess I have to undo all of this so that I can undo the legs. There we go. Young legs. I'm very glad to hear it. I had to figure out how to draw Mario for that little shitpost that I did that, I don't understand why it's doing numbers, but like 40 something people like it. There's that. Sometimes the stuff you take the least amount of time on does the best. And I don't know why that is, because sometimes I put a lot of effort into something and then, like, nobody sees it. It ultimately doesn't matter, because what matters is the process, but it can be a little upsetting sometimes when you work on something for, like, weeks. The legs are not coming together, that's the problem. This man has spindly long legs. Okay. Figuring out the problem does not necessarily mean finding the solution, so I need to find the solution. There we are, thigh time, not thigh time. Well, now it's thigh time. Now it's thigh time for thigh. And it's so unfortunate. Shanks does not have wide hips. He's built like a fucking rectangle. Yeah, that's a thing that's sort of being accentuated even more now, in the landscape that we find ourselves in with AI becoming more and more of a thing. Is that people really like to see stuff that's work in progress because it shows, it shows the humanity of it, as opposed to it being a product. And I have a really massive thing about how important art is, because I had to do research on well, I had to get a grade, but I decided to do the subject of like an entire paper on uh, the history of human art, and through that I realized like how actually important art is to being human, because you can see cave paintings and they like correlate directly with human mental development from Erectus, and then you see stuff from Neanderthals, and then you see anatomically modern humans, and so our art has evolved along with us physically. And so that just makes me even more mad when seeing people use generative AI to steal art and then turn it into a product. You should then consider that it was. Ah, okay. No, that makes sense. How am I gonna do the... You know what? I know how I'm gonna do the hand. I'm gonna do the hand like a hand. That's the solution. Hand time, time for hand. Hi, Tracy, you want out? There we go. And then I do the thumb. The thing I keep forgetting and why I did the face like this and not how I normally do it is sometimes I forget that a sketch does not need to be exact and can be fixed later, and also new layers do better things. So instead of puttering around with the sketch, I could have just done like the basic structure and then left it at that for a bit until, you know, I actually got to a new layer. C'est la vie. I don't like that hand, but I can fix that later. I just said that I need to remember that layers exist. And sometimes sketches. That is not how his feet look. They are not clown shoes. You can tell I've drawn a lot of clowns because I'm good at drawing clown shoes. There we go. This foot is acceptable. I just need to do that. And I realized I forgot to do the mirror tool again. Something I said last stream is that sometimes you just find like a set of music that feels, lack of a better term, feels a bit like your soul. Like it feels like you. You know what I mean? And for me, the Outer Wild soundtrack feels like, I don't know. It just fits me, and I don't know why that is. I don't know how to describe that, but it just feels right. Here we go. Okay, now I have. Actually, no, I don't have to now. I can be cool and awesome and just add a new layer instead. Wrong layer. Gotta give him those pretty, that pretty eyeliner. And I should have done the mirror tool. There's a specific mashup of the Traveler's song and a song from Cyberpunk Edge Runners, and for some reason that mix goes is so good. Something about the acoustic instruments and the heavily like distorted vocals really fits, and I'm not sure why. But whoever made it cooked really hard. Shit. Eyebrow time for eyebrow. It's interesting how meaningful the Outer Wild is to me. I won't spoil anything because it's a game that deserves not to be spoiled because that sort of ruins the game. I will say, very good, very good. It completely rewired my brain chemistry and changed my philosophy on life. Ah, you've already spoiled it for yourself. Very good, very good. I, it's the Outer Wilds. Like there's a how do I put this? There is a specific sort of theme in media that I seem to come back to time and time again, and that is sort of the idea of it's about the journey, not the destination. Like with One Piece, uh, like there's One Piece, there's Dark Souls, there's Outer Wilds. It's all about like what happens during rather than how things conclude, because no matter how cool the titular One Piece ends up being, it's not gonna match up to the journey. And with Outer Wilds, it's I've never actually seen Saw. I'm sorry, is that I it's just torture porn. Okay, I got it. Well, like all these pieces of media really accentuate like the journey, as I've said with Outer Wilds. You go through all these loops, you talk to all these people, you discover all these things, and then once you figure everything out, it just ends. uh like the ending is great and all, but it just kind of ends. And don't want to get emotional, but the ending of Outer Wilds, and again, spoiler alert for everybody everywhere. Uh, to not spoil yourself if you don't want to be spoiled. With the ending where you're with all the friends that you've made on your like the friends and the sort of found family you've made along the journey. Like you get to, like, you realize that they mean a lot to you, and then it ends. And then, and then they're gone too. Um, and sorry for getting emotional. Discovering that that being the end was really meaningful to me at the time where I saw that. Yeah, it's sort of like that, but not really in a pessimistic way. 'Cause a lot of people will be really nihilistic about it and be like, "Oh, we're just dust in the wind, everything ends, and so nothing matters." And that sorry to anybody who believes that, but that's dumb. Because I've sort of taken it to more mean that, like, you know, everything we experience, like, no matter how fleeting, does matter. And sort of like with the friendship with Bon Clay, right? It doesn't matter how long it is. It friendships still matter. Um, these connections with people still matter. And so the whole thing completely rewired my brain, I think. Like, I've lost a lot of people through just drifting apart or dying or, like, splitting up very messily. So, seeing something that is like, yeah, that time did matter because it mattered to you, is it was a very valuable thing for me to hear. It's ear time. Time for ear. Let's fix the ears now. I like how he's turning out. Okay, okay. I guess I have to figure out how his hair works. Oh yeah, it's just in the wind. That song is good. Dust in the Wind. It's a good song. Ah, the hair. Why is the hair not working? What am I doing wrong? Why is the hair not herring? Okay, so big shapes, there's that, and then there's okay, and then there's that, and then okay. Oh shit, for real? That's impressive. I don't know how to play uh, instruments, really. I've been practicing singing. I can do a very good. If a song is very belty and is in a good range, I can do real good. Like I can sing my way very well. Also, that definitely does sound like Ben Beckman and Shanks. They definitely would make out sloppy style. And Ben Beckman would do his hair. My eyes tossed in the wind. Another song I can do well, but I won't do here because I have to do it loud. Is If I Were a Rich Man, but specifically the 1971 movie version. Turns out I can do that very well. Okay, how does I need to remember how muscles work. I need to. My brain is activating. I'm drawing titty real quick. Feener time. Time for drawing feeners. There we go. Yes, and they grow on you like mold or particularly persistent mushroom. Yeah, exactly. Do I just hate Shanks's body? I think I'm realizing that I hate how I drew his body. I think I need to hashtag delete my art. Yep. Yeah, thank you. I do not like how I drew the body. I'm completely redoing it. I like the neck though, so I'm gonna be a little more careful. There we go. Yeah, I did the muscles wrong. I can see it now. There we go. And then there. You know, sometimes you just forget how to do things, and you don't know why, because you remember remembering. That is the case for the pictorials. There we go. Okay. Now I can restart. Na, 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 na. Oh, yeah, you're right. Okay, let's do a review of how his body works, because I think I need that. Okay, so his neck is like that, doesn't need, not that important. Then I do, not that big. His chest is actually kind of short. He's just like that. And he has a really long, like that, yeah, like that. Then he has hips. His shoulders are actually really broad. And his shoulder goes out to there and out to there. So for all we know, he might actually have an hourglass figure. And then here's the funny collarbone. And there's rounded the pectoral. And then the pectoral's actually really close. Uh, I think he has his arm out like that. This one is no, we can actually see it down here. His why is his arm that long? This man is lanky as hell. Oh no, Oh no, you're right. You're right. Yeah, so he can dunk on all the devil fruit users. Okay, I'm gonna do that. It's actually easier for me to draw pelvis at 3/4 view like this rather than straight on. That is something I need to get better at. I have a feeling his knees are probably up here. That's just a feeling I'm getting. So, view of him. Also ass. He needs ass. Everyone needs ass every once in a while. As a treat. And like this. And then this is the case here, I believe. And then we can get rid of that. And God, his body's weird. Oh, so you're saying that his legs are more like this. All right, sick. Oh, the mirror troll's been on this whole time. There's a secret Shanks off to the right somewhere. God, you can tell this man's 40 or like 40 something. He dresses like somebody who's 40 something. Yeah, we do that, and then we have the feet. There we go. Here's a pose. You do it large enough, and then you can just sort of. Oh, you sent me a picture. Let me X out of that and get that, and then. I see. Ah. Oh, yeah, I see. True. I'm going to keep this phase here for reference, but I'm going to something funky and weird. And by funky and weird, I mean I'm going to redraw the face in a uh, different direction. Actually, no. No, I can be smarter than this. We have the technology. There we go. And now magic can happen. There we go. I want. There we go. Shift it. Ro- uh, banana rotate banana. There we go. I don't like how he looks grumpy, so I decided to not do that. And also looking at this without the sketch here, kind of looks mid. I've been drawing mids this whole time. Who knew? But I can draw better than this, so I'm going to. Sure is. That is why I often don't. You see, the cool part of having stuff that's hard to draw is sometimes you just decide not to draw it. And it's often perfectly okay that you just decide not to draw it. Okay, there's my Shanky boy. He's going to shank me. He's going to shank me lovingly and then shank me with hatred. Thank you, phone, for telling me my battery's low. I charged you this morning. There we go. And then the secret trick that nobody wants you to know is that you can rotate the phone on its side and then get a bigger chat. Or can it? No. No, I'm lying. There we go. Okay. You know, I think if Ben Beckman didn't do Shanks's hair, that Shanks would have very, very long hair by now. Because I know how many years it takes to grow long hair. I have very long hair. He would have long hair. And by very long hair, I mean my hair is 3 feet long. It's very long. How's it 3 feet in actual good metrics of a bit more than a meter, I think. I have a question to all hair drawers out there. How do you draw hair good? Ah. I used to have short hair, and then I realized that I look a lot better with long hair, so I got myself long hair, and now I look gorgeous. So so sometimes people just look better certain ways. Ah. Oh yeah, no, fair enough. Let's see. I was gonna erase that, and I realized it's on a different layer. This is a travesty. My phone is falling. My hair is falling, and I can't get up. Goodbye. One thing I'm upset about with One Piece, specifically the Toei anime, is that they make the women look the same. They make the women look the same in the post time skip, and I don't understand it. Why couldn't they just keep with? Oh, hold on, you sent the thing I need to look. Ah. I'm gonna draw on One Piece where the hair looks funny, so then I have a couple of. Ah, you see, that would be the smart thing to do. But you see, I try and visualize the scalp, and then I look at the angle and go, the angle bad. Yeah, fair enough. I'm gonna undo this hair because I don't like it. I liked it when I drew it, which is the funniest thing. But I don't like it anymore because I stopped drawing it for but a moment. Eventually, I'll get hair I like. Oh yeah, that is such a neat tool. I'm not one of those people that are like at all gatekeepy about like what makes proper drawing and what's like quote unquote cheating. 'Cause, like, I don't know, sometimes I'd really like a 3D model as a base for a pose. That sounds real nice. That sounds real nice sometimes. Trying to visualize the eyes. Nose, eyebrow, eyebrow, his incredibly infectious smile. Now, there's certain kinds of hair that I draw really well, and for some reason, Shanks is just not that kind of hair. I don't know why. Like, I'm really good at doing curly hair, I think. I think I'm good at curly hair. That might just be my hubris, but still. Uh, uh, I'm I'm really good at hair that's like how my hair is. So like for instance, I can do a quick let's say there's a troll goober right here, and then there's the scalp, and then I can like I can just like do this real quick and nice like, and stuff works out and it's good. And then sort of add some wavies and curlies near the bottom, and then it's good. I'm good at doing hair quick like this. When I draw hair, I like doing broader shapes, which I'm told is how you're supposed to do it. But I've seen people not do that and have it work out fine. So, like, I guess how you do it doesn't really matter, as long as, it ends up looking. And then let's see, then there's also that, and then there it is. There we are. So, like, I'm good at hair. It's just for some reason Shanks is really messing with me. I'm gonna delete this even though I like it a lot, because this is not Shanks, this is a troll. Like the picture you're sending me. How generous. Neat. Let me zoom in real quick. Oh, that hair's pretty nice. I do these. Yeah, at the end of the day, it's just people doing things differently. There's not really any one way to do things. I do them very differently. As you can see, I did a big overarching shape and then sort of scribbled inside. Yeah, no, it spreads out a little more like that. Give my man his titties back. Ah. See, what I've started doing is you probably saw that with the first clown man that I drew. That I do a base color and then I do like a separate shading layer, and then that sort of shading layer helps fill out what the hair looks like. At least that's what I do when I'm trying to make things look professional. Okay, what the hell do I do here? I might have. Well, partner, I think I fucked up. Uh, no, I didn't. I'm built different. No, I'm built different. I'm hashtag built different. There we go. And then you do that, and then there that is, I suppose. I am so unbelievably perplexed by how his arms and legs are so long. Why is he built like this? One thing I really struggle to do that you don't seem to struggle with, Gremlin, is that I struggle doing a more painterly style. I'm very illustrative. That is this you're built like you're built in the doorroom of Frankenstein. Damn. Hold on, I'll be right back. Hold on, I'm gonna. Alright, sorry about that. That was very fast. Somebody came knocking on my door and gave me a hat. It looks like a locally made hat, too. Very nice. Um, you seem to struggle a lot less than I do with having things be painterly. You're able to paint things better than I do. Whereas I'm very illustrative. I like bold line art, uh, simple colors. I want to get better with shadows. I'm really inspired by Mike Mignola, uh, and like his work creating Hellboy. Is like super inspirational to me. It's just I need to get better with shadows too. I'm looking at his long yaoi fingers, and I'm weeping. Look upon his yaoi hands and weep. Everything about this man is long, and I don't understand. Yeah, I'm speaking of hats, I'm growing a pretty decent collection of flat caps. They're very nice. I just got a plaid one, which looks pretty neat. His fingers are an atrocity. They are an affront to all things good. Thank you, Toei. Very cool. Speaking of One Piece, I'm so excited for the Wit Studios The One Piece. People are saying it's not gonna get to the heights of Toei One Piece, but if its lowest is higher than Toei One Piece's lowest, then I know we'll be in good hands. Because I love the anime. The anime got me into One Piece. Very good, very cool. However, uh, Dressrosa is a problem. To get a nice gradient and then gradients I use. Oh. Probably. Hold on while I open a thing because I want to look. I want to look at the style I did for it. Images computer. It should be up near the top. There it is. Like this lady. This is sort of what my style does. Especially recently. Actually, because this is all base color, then a flat overlay of blue underneath it, and all of that is over just like simple shading. So like ultimately, it's not super complicated. I did this in like a day. But I wish to do more painterly stuff sometimes. The problem is I haven't found many good paintbrushes. I found a lot of good pencil and ink brush. Oh yeah, and the blur tool. I was actually using for those I was actually using a blur tool. Uh from from a custom from a whatever DVAD is. My friend recommended it to me. And it's very good. It is a textured blending brush. So like for instance, you blend it and it's like you're blending with like an actual paintbrush. It's super good. Like it can do a nice transition and it still gives you some texture. Very nice. Highly recommend finding brushes like that. The people in my house are very, very generous. I will not name names for privacy's sake. They are very generous. I got 3 boxes of candy. I'm very thankful. Ultimately, you don't need any fancy brushes. It's just that I found one that feels good. Right, like my sketch brush is just pencil 4 soft, and my usual ink is like is rough pen. So you don't need any sort of fancy brushes to get like rad art out of it. Also, sorry, I'm eating milk duds. They're very good. Very good candy. Highly recommend if we can find some. They're basically just chocolate and caramel. Man, sorry to say it, Shanks. Your hips ain't all that. I'm sorry. I might even have to get rid of your ass. I don't think Shanks has an ass. I think I figured out why I like drawing pants like this that have sort of baggy legs, but a really small, like a really small hole for your leg down here, and I think it's because One Piece. I'm starting to realize just how much of my art was inspired by this piece of media. And done. Yeah. Man, he's really showing his full titty right there. He could not handle buttoning his shirt. Oh, that sounds like a really fun sketch brush. Uh, this also sort of does that. Fun fact: this didn't used to do that. It only started doing that after I updated like a couple weeks ago. I mean, yeah, fair enough, but I was about to say, you know what? I think Ben Beckman would probably button up his shirt, but then I realized Ben Beckman probably wants to see Shanks' titties too. So, like, everybody's winning. Okay, I don't need to do a shirt collar. Very cool. Very cool and awesome. And I get to do fun things like this. Yeah, I hope Akainu stays losing. Like, forever. Like, I don't know how to put... I don't know how to, like, explain why I think this. Akainu feels very specifically American military person. Probably his wanton disregard for civilian lives, but, you know. Who's to say? And also his Hawaiian shirt. So I'm just not gonna for now, and I'll figure that out later. Okay, that makes sense. Long handle. I like my handle the long way. I mean, yeah, true. I mean, yeah, fair enough. I don't I mean, I know what Imperial Japan did, you know, but I don't really have any context for like what that really means culturally, you know? Because what I know Japan as is what Japan is now, which is very different. I mean, yeah, like I know what Imperial Japan did and why everybody else in like East and Southeast Asia hate them for very good reasons. I also know about Unit 731. It's horrible. It's very bad, and some the stuff I found out sometimes keeps me up at night because I've seen pictures. It's not good. Yeah, it's been like 80 years and people still hate Japan for good reason, right? It's a lot of countries like never forget sort of thing where it's culturally and societally passed down like this bad thing happened to us. We will not allow like our children to forget sort of situation. Yeah. Boy, yeah, that and all of this is because the entire society was traumatized by samurai. I mean, yeah, That's kind of what happens when you get a extremely individualistic society where all that's really talked about is what happens to you and not like globally. So I I know more than the average American. However, I know shockingly little about like, global politics and global history, which is a shame. Just because like we're just not taught it. I mean, yeah, that too, and also the samurai and like that whole structure was like extremely horrible. It's horrible like any feudal structure, right? Like all feudal structures isn't are inherently um very exploitative of the of like just the average person with a line of like increasingly more and more well-off noble class that's based off of land, uh like land and titles. The people of privilege can just come into your town or village and basically do whatever they want, and they often took advantage of that. Like, yeah, it was an awful system. And so going from that to immediate industrialization, like, that sort of previous mentality is really hard to shake. It took a lot for did your I'm not knowledgeable. I'm someone who lives in Oregon, US, so I'm not too knowledgeable. How quickly was that shaken off, like the feudal structure in Europe? Like I know the Black Death sort of sort of forced that. Hi, cat. Like in our history classes, where like in school, we're taught vaguely about the Black Death and how important it was, and then a lot of the peasants died, so work got more expensive, so they had to give people better stuff, and then Open Renaissance happened. That's sort of all people are taught, and to know more, you kind of have to go out and seek it on your own. Hey there. My cat is very distracting. Hey. I accidentally overdid the facial hair right around here, I think. Hey. One thing I was thinking about one of these days is I should update my PNG model to have a cat on my lap because of how often my cat decides to get on my lap. It's an every stream occurrence. Mmm. All right, that makes sense. Yeah. as far as I know, um, Japan never really had that transitional stage between like industrialization and feudalism. Hi, I would like to draw, please. Ah. You see, I should know more about this because I really like steam locomotives. Hey, Missy Miss, I would like to draw, please. I really need to update my model with you on my lap, huh? You just decide to get in here every stream, you might as well be a co-host, yeah. Oh yeah, that was the 14th, right? Louis the 14th, or was that the 12th? No, no. I am the state. And then just had absolute power over everything, and then revolutions happened because it turns out it's bad to have somebody have absolute power over people, because then people don't get treated well. Yeah, I try and draw, and my cat bashes her head into my arm to get my attention because she wants love and she deserves it. But I need to draw. Oh, yeah. I mean, the Shogun was still centralized power, right? But I remember oh yeah, yeah, fair enough. How long ago was the Meiji Restoration? All right, there we go. Now I can draw. Thank you very much, miss. Yep. Oh, right. Yeah, makes sense. My cat also likes to drool when she's very happy, and she's very happy right now. And I love her very much, but that means that she's drooling all over the place. It is kind of gross. Okay. I can actually hide most of this arm because I'm cool and epic and decided to draw Shanks. There were like two somewhat short-lived emperors in between the restoration and the one who ruled. Huh. So it really wasn't that long. Probably 1800s. Let's see. I sure do love living in a country where half the people have believe that one person should have absolute authority over them. Isn't that fun? I love living in a two-party system. It's my favorite. Where people don't have, and even people in every other party just decides to trust the establishment regardless. So I don't know. I would like to be in a place where people distrusted authority more. You know, we're the quote-unquote beacon of democracy. Ah. Yeah, that really wasn't. Yeah, that really wasn't too long ago. I mean, at this point, that's like about like almost 200 years ago. So like that is a fair bit of time, but not a lot. Wow. Yeah, I remember hearing about how the U.S. uh forced Japan to open its borders. Was that around this time? Doing that. There we go. Then do that, and then have this. Open the box of whoppers. Mmm. Interesting. How am I going to do this? I did that wrong. Right. There we go. Yeah, no, I did that wrong because there's a. I did it wrong on this side. That's what's going on. Alright. Ah, okay, thank you. I don't know how to feel about that happening because yeah, we really did barge in and go, your borders, they're open now. Okay, so that happened, and then a decade later was the start of the Meiji Restoration. All right. I'm seeing the timeline in my head. Get this right over here. Thanks. And then let that flow. Let that flow real well. Let that go there. Let that go like so. Have that be like that, I think. And I'll call her because he deserves it. He's a king. That that allows me to have it a little bit out more like this. Have you see, it's all starting to come together. It's almost like the most important part of an art piece is getting the pose down, and once the pose is down and the feeling you want is down, then things just sort of start to work out. Now, I wish the U.S. education system was better, but you can blame Ronald Reagan for that. Illustration was kind of a direct restoration of the. Oh. Oh yeah, no, that I mean that makes sense. The forced opening of the borders probably completely messed up the entire thing they had going on. Also, I apologize for how I'm responding. I back during the pandemic got COVID, and my brain doesn't work right after that. I have brain fog now. I love diseases and their long term consequences. It's very cool. Huh. All right. I mean, I did watch them for a while, but one of the ones I followed went down the alt-right pipeline, and I had to leave their content. And I didn't really find one since then. Uh, Oversimplified is good. I don't think he did a Meiji restoration yet. And his blessings of Nurgle. I love the brain fog. The fog approaches. Oh. Yeah, I used to watch a lot of that also, and it taught me about historical. It was a lot like taught me about a lot of historical stuff. There was and then it just sort of well, alt history. Like that guy specifically has another channel that's just about like actual history, and he did kind of fall off. Um, oh, I should look at extra history. It's been a long time since I watched them. I should watch them again. I'm subscribed. I don't know why I haven't been getting their content. Like I just haven't been. I also remember I used to watch What If Alt Hist, and if you haven't heard about that guy recently, he went crazy and he's trying to start a cult. So uh, I don't trust what he says, and I'm gonna need to relook at all the things I learned from him and sort of figure out what was just him lying. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, no, he sucks. Recently he's genuinely gone insane. Like I don't say that as like of a term of speech. I mean, he is actually like his brain for whatever reason has started working wrong, and now he's believing his own grift. It is tragic, and I hope he gets help genuinely. Like I hope I genuinely hope he gets help. It's one of those things where you have to figure out or not figure out. You have to be willing to get help or else help won't work. Man, I'm gonna have to look through all the stuff I learned from him and sort of figure out what was lies and stuff. Yep. I actually knew somebody personally really close to me that sort of went through the same thing of going crazy and believing his own stuff. It was not great to watch. So every time I see somebody go through that, I understand sort of the steps that take to go into that, and I feel sorry for him. It's just, you know, before then, he was also just a fascist. Oh yeah, Gaijin, I love Gaijin Goomba. Again, one of those people that I haven't checked out in a while. I've only been getting recommended like his Orc channel that he recently made, like Warhammer Orc channel that he recently made. Which is a shame because that's not the content I watch him for. Uh, I I liked his culture videos and such. Right, like he's the reason why I still remember the funny jingle of real ninjas wear blue. Because they did. Because unlike today, there wasn't a lot of light pollution. And so the nighttime was generally blue. Well, another person I used to watch, but has recently been found out to be a fascist. Speaking of, is Shadiversity. I used to love his like medieval history stuff. He's why I know so much about like medieval castles. But like his content's been going real downhill recently. What's another one I watch? There's a guy I watch, but he mostly focuses on um like different Middle Eastern empires and like just generally more recent European history. So like he wouldn't really be the place to go to look for like different history than that. Oh yeah, no. Yeah, it turns out he's a super far wing guy now, and because of that, his content's going downhill. That's the no. Let me pop up real quick to show you. Let me go to screenshots. This guy, Shadiversity. He used to give really interesting like medieval history stuff on like how armor works, why different weapons were used where they were, how like what made a castle. I Yeah, I think he was more. It's a shame. It's a shame though. Recently, been blaming. He's been blaming a lot of other people for his failures. Just as a YouTuber, and it's really been affecting him. And he's starting to. He's starting to do a lot of other stuff. I think he took down a video recently. Anyway, anyways, this cat is He's also yes, I think he's one of three brothers. I don't know who the third one is. I like Jazza a lot though. I haven't watched his stuff in a while. Uh, he just hasn't done stuff that that's popped up on my feed or is super interesting lately, which is a shame. Okay, now I'm basically forced to tackle the hair, unless. Okay, I need photos here, so. this is sketch. It doesn't need to be exact. I'll fix it later. There we go. Wait, really? That dude hasn't posted in so long. I love his content. I'm gonna need to check that out. Oh, I'm so that that's like on the level of when Salmonella like posted a new video after like a year or two. That's another guy I go to for history is Salmonella. But like only the weird history that's like kind of the most interesting. Wait, let's see. Ooh. Right, now I really have to do his hair. And then I think I can. Yeah, because his hair would fall down like this at this angle. I should. I'm gonna open a tab. I'm gonna open a YouTube tab to have them open for so I don't forget. Oh, this person! I used to catch his videos on TikTok. I love his stuff. I especially love the videos, like the shorts he does with his wife. Those ones are always like my favorite. He's like, she'll ask a really weird or like a seemingly weird question or like one of those relationship questions you would ask to sort of the historical version of like, would you love me if I were a worm? That those kind of. And then he always has a very interesting answer. Like there was one where she was like, name one woman, and he named like Queen Theodora. Let me look at History Matters. History Matters. Oh, this person. I used to back in like pre-pandemic, back in school. Uh, like the teacher would post videos or not post videos, like play history videos from this person. I don't want to jinx it, so I'm not gonna say what I'm thinking about the hair right now. Okay, the sketch of the hair actually looks good. It actually looks good now. We can rejoice. We, we can rejoice. Alright, I need to move my phone because my cat is waving her paw willy-nilly and might touch the screen. Lower this down to that. And have this in the new layer. Ah. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what you're seeing. I think it might be the sketch underneath. Maybe. Yes. All right. Da, 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 da. Wrong one. If I get rid of that, Flash Gordon. I'll have to just that's being from Flash Gordon is surprising. Alrighty, I think I will continue to finish this off later. I think that I'm starting to wind down a bit too much. So what I am going to do is I am going to do a funny ending readout, or not readout, a funny ending show, and then I'm going to call it for the stream. Once again, I've been Bajongles. You can find me over here on Twitch by that name. You can find me on Tumblr and Blue Sky. Uh, and I stream on here Tuesdays, Fridays, and Sundays at noon Pacific Standard Time. And I'm going to call the stream here. Thank you so much, Irregular Gremlin, for showing up today. It's always fun hanging out with you.